What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. Amazon Kindle Create Space. Your dad warned you about this. See, with the tumultuous relationships between men and women when it comes to parenting, and one reason I don't sometimes like Ayanna Van Zant is because everything is blamed on the mysterious man. What did your father do? What did the other man in your life do? What did the man beside the man do? Beloved, there's got to be a man to blame, beloved. But then when it comes to the women in her life, I'm sure she was like that because the man in her life. See, this is bullshit. But your dad tried to warn you of this. You see, take for instance slick talkers. In my opinion, who was the first slick talker in your life? It's probably your mom. You know how I figure that? Because your mother was usually the first person who was comfortable soothing you in a lie. You know, Mama love you. Mama love you. What you doing ain't wrong. It's just you just doing what you thought was right. So that bad behavior persists. Your dad warned you. You gonna pay for that. Don't continue to do that. You gonna pay for that. I ain't gotta listen to you. My mama told me it was all right. Okay. And then you grow up with these daddy issues. With a selective memory, because y'all remember this shit y'all dad warned y'all about. Because now you dating slick talkers. You know that motherfucker lying to you. You know. But you know what? It just sounds so good. He told me I was the only one and he loved me. I know his phone blew up and there was the pictures and the Instagrams and the text messages and the other women and the other dates and them creeping out. But he said, baby, you know, it's all right. You know you the only one. And I just, Your dad warned you, don't be listening to that bullshit. They warned you. Don't advertise yourself to be something you ain't willing to stand on. Whether that's whoredom or thugging. Cause see, everybody ain't standing on their position. That's why, you know, when you out here and you have the young girls over sexualized. I hate that shit. I hate to see parents just sitting there just letting these young girls be. That girl 10 years old. What the fuck are y'all doing? That girl 12 years old. Why y'all doing that? It's okay. But when that girl wind up getting touched, y'all don't want to say, maybe we shouldn't have did that. But dad warned you about that. Your dad told you, look, if something happened, tell me. I'm going to handle it. You know what a lot of families do? Don't tell nobody. Don't tell your daddy. And these situations persist and persist and persist and persist and persist and get worse and worse and worse, and you wind up messed up as an adult. Because you trust in people that's destroying you. Because they rub you on your head telling you it's going to be okay because it's all love. So, once again, you grew up believing bullshit. So what now? What we going to do now? Because your dad warned you. But you get mad at that. You didn't come through for me. I told you what to do. I told you to talk. But they told me not to. So you listen to them. I'm not trying to put the onus on kids like that. What I'm trying to say is, when you grow up as an adult, you come to find out who did you right and who did you wrong. And the problem is, a father's perspective warns you of the worst. And the mother's perspective soothes the worst. So you suffering with a hug instead of being free with a stern voice. That's what people are choosing. And when you get out into the real world, your dad warned you. is that do what's right. You don't want to reap what you sow in a bad way. There are consequences for every action. But you got people out here doing stuff on purpose that they know is destructive, manipulative, uh, psychopathic in a sense, sociopathic. But they continue to do it anyways because they get away with it, because all of this motherly soothing of shenanigans has become the norm of society. See, people can understand fuckery real well nowadays. People could gravitate to it. Ask a person if you sit a person down with something real and something fake, they will gravitate to the fake stuff because the fake stuff is so intriguing and entertaining. And I know it's a lie, but it feels so good. Your dad warned you stop gossiping so much. Don't worry about other people's business. Worry about yourself. You got a society spending their time worry about everybody else. You got men making a living talking about other celebrity men. You know what he did today? You know what they doing tomorrow? Yeah, I'm all in their business. Man, that's real. What are you doing? Why aren't you talking about yourself? Just saying. And the way I'm putting it is like gossip has become current events for men. That's just crazy. And your dad warned you about that. Your dad warned you also, when you get rid of the real men, you're going to start looking for them. And that goes for men and women, because guess what? I'm the mother and the father revolution. Always looking for a mentor. Always looking for a new uncle. Now you need granddad. Now you need your brothers. What? Now you need your teachers. But you don't need dad. Okay. But then guess what? You grow up and you realize the importance, because you got adults dealing with society in a way they should have dealt with it as kids, but they were stunted in growth because they believed that dad was the bad guy. And dad warned you. You're going to start looking for these men. So now you're out in the streets looking for a man to make you feel better. You're a teenager looking for a man to influence you, or looking for a man to make you feel loved. Your dad warned you about this. And when all of this stuff is said and done and you go through all the ways of ignoring dear old dad, as an adult you wind up going back to him and saying, you know what, we need to have a talk, because you warned me about all this stuff and you were the only one that was keeping it 100, and I never would listen because you didn't give me a hug and tell me and whisper in my ear it was going to be okay. You told me what was real and I didn't want to hear that. I'm just saying.